Testing. Hi, everybody. How are you? Good evening. It's Wednesday. Dealing with the data on Wednesdays. Um, Now sometimes I do the show a little bit early, like at 7 or 8, and I'm like, okay, let me try the 9 o'clock spot. Plus, I have a guest, Mark Carter, honey. Yes, Chicago native. He is part of Chicago Red organization. That's chicagored.org, to where you have Black Chicagoans, Black conservative Chicagoans trying to turn the city of Chicago red. So he's going to be coming up shortly. So hi, please hit the like button, share this video. Everybody on X, hello. Everybody in the chat, hi, Katonia, Danny, Barn, Lamont. Oh no, honey. Let me take this Bluetooth off. So whatever's coming through my phone, y'all don't need to be hearing it. So yeah, so we're gonna have a good show because as you can see in the title, DNC convention day 3, which is tonight. Tomorrow on Thursday, day 4 is the last day. That's when Kamala, she better give the speech of her life. She probably only gonna talk for 15 minutes. Tonight, VP Tim Walz, he's delivering his speech. Of course, John Legend, he's going to be performing. You know, there's a whole bunch of buck dancing going on. I held a space yesterday with Judge Joe Brown, and I titled that the DNC Convention Chitlin Circuit because that's exactly what it is. And I have highlights. And when Mark come up, we're going to talk about what is going on in Chicago, especially with the migrant crisis. The convention is in Chicago. They have not mentioned not one thing about public policies. But first, guys, I want to highlight my sponsor, highestpaid.online. Yes. Listen, I only like to sponsor legitimate businesses that is actually will be enlightened to my audience. So the highest paid dot online, it teaches you how to make money in the stock market. You don't have to work for a company. You can work for yourself. It could be full-time, part-time, or casual, but it teaches you how to invest in the stock market and make money. And that is very important. So no matter who's sitting in that White House, you still want to make money. I thought I had the commercial. Oops. I'll play the commercial throughout the show. I just don't have it right now. Sorry. I need to get better with that. So yeah. So highest paid dot online. In the description, though, you could get 30% off if you put in Dana 30% off. And the link is in the description of this video. So, first thing I want to highlight Biden's farewell speech. Actually, let me start to share my screen because we got to talk. Let's see. I want to go here. Yeah, let's do this. All right. So I got a whole bunch of stuff in here. But I want to start with Joe Biden. Joe Biden spoke on Monday. So, they had to get him out the way. It was basically his farewell speech from politics, not just from being president, but from politics. He's gone. He's gone. He's useless. He's always been useless. But as far as his age and his wealth, health and age, he's useless. Now, again, we always make fun of his speech because he goes off tilter. It's hard for him to read that teleprompter. And these are just some quick highlights so far from this DNC Chitlin Circuit convention.
End this war. Those protesters out in the street, they have a point. A lot of innocent people are being killed on both sides.
Yeah, a lot of innocent people are being killed on your watch.
Firing in this war.
So that was one of his things. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of highlights on Joe Biden because it's pointless. It's pointless. The only thing we're going to do is make fun of him. However, I found this very disturbing. I don't know who this man is that he was in a wheelchair. They wheeled him out on the stage. Actually, let me make it like this. Yeah. They wheeled this man out on the stage and he cannot talk.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Okay, so I thought this was so sad and abuse of people with disabilities. How in the hell can that woman interpret what that man was mumbling? He wasn't even mumbling. He was just making sounds. So she's a sound interpreter. I thought that was sad. I thought that was abuse. You know, I thought it was pandering at best. And it was funny. But it was crazy.
In 2000,
Yeah, like, girl, you lying. Yes, that was so wrong. So that's another highlight. I'm zooming through the highlights because I do see Mark and Q. Little John came out. Where he at? You know, I was shocked. So, you know, when you have these conventions, the RNC and the DNC, you have to do roll call. You roll call through each state, and the delegates of each state said, hey, we are such and such of state of California, and we give our delegates of however how many delegates, blah, blah, blah. So what they did, this Chitlin Circuit buck breaking convention, they had a DJ playing. A DJ on the stage. So each state, when you announce their state, they had like a theme song of a famous celebrity, right? That's from that state, and they played that song. Well, when they got to Georgia, they played Lil Jon. Turned down for what? And I'm like, okay, I felt like I was back in Club Cheetahs, honey, in New York City in the early 2000s. Like, are you serious?
Let's go. Turn out for what? Hey, everybody get your hands up. Hey, everybody get your hands up. Hey, everybody get your hands up. Now, say, you're not going back. We're not going back. We're not
going back to what? Where did you come from? So what are you not going back to? Again, like, you can't make this shit up. You have a man that can only in a wheelchair who can only make sounds, and he has some fake ass interpreter. You have, you know, a DJ. You have rappers. You have Patti LaBelle, Common, John Legend supposed to be performing tonight. Nobody's not talking about policies. Not one policy was mentioned. Michelle Obama, the Obamas spoke last night. They still got a little bit of that magic touch, just a little bit, because the crowd was going crazy. But see, that room wasn't filled with a whole bunch of people from Chicago, if any, right? But how did the people from Chicago really feel about the Obamas? And they were up there lying. So I'm just like, nobody, the politicians, nobody talked about policy. They didn't mention policy at all. One more thing before I bring the guests up. Because Amber Rose had to put her 2 cents in it, honey. And I agree with her. She wasn't lying.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, the DNC is so fucking lit. Like, that shit was super popping last night.
It was lit.
Like, DJ Cassidy killed it. Shout out to DJ Cassidy. Shout out to Lil Jon. Like, they had Lil Jon there. This shit was fire. But I was thinking Kamala should have a new slogan. It should be, let's manipulate Americans into thinking that everything is all good and everything is just funny and laughs and jokes and like just cool ass music. And, you know, while war veterans are broke and there's so many homeless people in America and people can't afford groceries or rent or to even go out with their friends anymore and have a good time. Illegal migrants are getting so much money in food stamps, taking over our hotels and schools. People are dying in war. You know, that should be her new slogan. I think she should put that on a hat. Yeah, I think she should put that on a hat.
Yeah, you should. She should put all that on the hat. Yeah. Yeah. And before it really kicked off on Monday, the bullshit kicked off actually on a Sunday when Roland Martin, you know, got rolled up on. Yeah, Roland Martin ghetto is hell. I think I had that clip here. Where is it at? So this happened in the church on Sunday. Jamal Green from Chicago. Leave Chicago niggas alone, honey. They will pull up in your face, especially if you coming into their town. Don't play with them like that.
Oh, give me 1 second. No, ain't no. Hold on. I gave you enough. I gave you enough pictures. Yesterday, you tweeted about it. You tweeted about
That shit was crazy and funny. But it's the DNC, honey. It's Chitlin Circuit, it's butt breaking, it's symbolism, it's pandering, it's everything else to distract you from what's important. Policies, the border, the economy, because they have no answers whatsoever. Had the black woman in security rolling like crazy. Leave them Chicago people alone, honey. Don't be trying to pull up on them. Don't do it. Hi, Mark. Can you hear me?
Hey, good evening to your guests. Your audience. I said to the guests. To your audience.
Okay, so you out and about.
Can you hear me real good?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I was on my way back and can you hear me? Okay. Well, I had to, pull over so I can interview with you tonight. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I appreciate that. Listen, you're always out on them streets in Chicago.
Oh,
you are part of Chicago Red, correct?
Oh, without a doubt. Well, no. Go Red. Chicago Red is a different organization.
Okay.
Yeah, our movement is Go Red. Chicago Red is P. Ray and the other gang.
Okay, but
yeah,
y'all trying to turn the city of Chicago red, Republicans.
Yes.
So,
and not just for the Republican Party or Donald Trump, but for candidates that this whole movement started where we were looking to slate our candidates after the primary, which the Democrat Party and Black Caucus prevented that. So we're still moving forward.
mm-hmm. Oh, you going in and out just a little bit. Can you hear me? You was freezing up. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you now. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I can't hear you. Maybe you should go out and come back in. Did you press mute? No, I don't think so. Yeah, you're not muted. It's probably the connection. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let me text him. Go out and come back in. If you can hear me, go out and come back in. Yeah. Wait a minute. Go out, come back. Go out and come back in. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna see if he's able to. I told him to go out and just come back in. Actually, let me remove him and then have him come back in. So he's out, and this is the thing. I try to catch up with him and P Ray. They're busy. I do give them that. It's easier for me to kind of catch Mark on Twitter Space because with Twitter Space, you could be anywhere, and be talking. A lot of times when you're doing a live on YouTube, you kind of need to be stationary. So it's hard for me to grab them because they're always out in the street, getting people registered to vote, talking to the people, organizing and everything. And I really want to get his opinion, not his opinion. I really want him to inform us on what exactly is going on in Chicago, dealing with the migrant crisis, what is going on while the DNC convention is going on right now this week in Chicago. I was supposed to have Minister Jap come on, and he flaked on me because he's living in Chicago too. Do you need the link again? The link. Oh no, here he goes. Okay. Let's see if this is better.
Okay, I hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. You don't have no other apps open in the phone, do you? Because sometimes that could mess up.
No, in a bad area. I just moved to a better area because I heard it kind of like jumping.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So I had you on twice, but it's been a minute, and it's like I kept saying to myself, I gotta have Mark come back on, gotta have him come back on, honey, because you be teeing it up on X Spaces. So I want to talk about the DNC. The DNC convention is in Chicago. Chicago is dealing with a serious migrant crisis. You have been very vocal
illegal immigrant crisis. We're being nice saying migrant. No, these are illegal immigrants that broke federal law that should be held accountable. No different than when we were young people out breaking the law. They didn't go easy on us and call us these nice little warm and fuzzy names. No, they call us criminals. These people are criminals.
Yes, they are. They are criminals. They are criminals. Yes, they did break the law.
Yeah.
However, we have public officials, politicians giving them all of these resources, all of, public policies being made on their behalf, all of these free money, social services, healthcare, education, down payments. Has there been a change? Has there been any improvements?
No. As a matter of fact, they're going even further. Now, if you look at California, no different than here, where they've given them a right to bear arms and become police. AB 1840, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, it's called AB 1840 in California, where they have amended a bill to add illegal immigrants to it in order for them to buy homes, loans, and everything, right? And so, no, things are getting worse. And we come to the conclusion that it is in our best interest to go with Trump in this American agenda, because we're just as American as they are. No time to playing around. There's only two sides. Either you're going to be on the side of America or you're going to be on the side of immigrants. Illegal immigrants, that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the DNC convention on the outside, it's a lot of protests going on, Palestinians or what have you. And I said in a space last night, I said, well, where are the Black Chicagos? Why they not out protesting against the illegals for reparations, yada yada yada? And I had Minister Jep come on. He born and raised in Chicago, lives in Chicago, homeowner, and he was supposed to be on the show tonight because I would have liked to see y'all to connect. But he came on a space and he was like, there's no need for us to, and it was another gentleman from Chicago. They was basically saying there's no need for us to be out there protesting because we already know that, see the BS, and we already been doing the work on the South Side before the convention, and we're going to be doing the work after, right? Can you hear me? Oh God. Yeah, I can't hear you either. All right, go out again. Wait a minute. Yeah, go out again and come back. All right. Damn. Their mic is not okay. Their mic is not connected. I don't know what is going on. It's definitely because he's in his car. All right, he's gonna come back. Cryptonomics. Please don't come over here with that BS. Listen, yes, I do believe in the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of press. But yeah. I just did a 5-hour X space last night, and I'm just not in the mood for that to be spilt over here. So just don't do it. Guys, please hit that like button. Please share this video. So when he comes back, I want to go in more details, and actually let me share. I do see him. I want to share this from this is a clip from the convention with Mark Carter. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to
Maybe
play
we'll
this
stay
clip.
live.
Yeah, hopefully. I want to play this clip real quick. You were on the you were being interviewed by Fox News. I'm just gonna play your part, and you were at the DNC convention.
We're back in Chicago for day 2 of the DNC, and now that they've sent Jill and Joe packing, they're trotting out the closest thing they have to a political deity, the Obamas. Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders is first. He'll speak, then Michelle, and then Mr. Hope and Change himself. One problem. Kamala is no Barack Obama and never could be. He had charisma, really smart, won a bunch of primaries, was able to excite voters in a way that's really hard to replicate, once in every 60 years or so. For example, in 2008, Obama won a staggering 95% of the black vote. But a new Morning Consult poll has Kamala at just 72%. Trump is pulling 21% of the black vote. What was it, 10 or 11 points, 9 points last time around? That could be a game changer for him in this race. Joining me now, Mark Carter, Chicago resident and activist. Also with me, Osiris Sumler, a former Democrat who is now voting for Donald Trump. Osiris, you voted for Biden last time around, along with just earning power of I think so they just checked that box tonight. But Mark, this really is, I think, the issue, along with just earning power of all Americans, but especially disadvantaged Americans, and black men are citing this issue of the economy. What about that?
Oh, yeah. This economy is crushing our communities. We see where resources are being given to illegal immigrants versus American citizens. And so it's killing our community. It's causing mass murder. It's going to, just shock and awe Black America if we don't put a stop to this. And that putting a stop to means support Donald Trump.
Why do you think black women, though, Osiris, they're very much on board with Kamala Harris? I mean, they're all in on Kamala Harris. What's the divide between black women and black men?
All right, I didn't want to play his part. What happened to Mark? He went out again. I have come to love your channel. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Are you still there, Mark?
Yes, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me just see if I can cut the video on. I don't know why I'm keep not getting the signal. Okay, now go ahead. Let's try it.
Okay. So you were on Fox News. I just played the clip. I didn't want to
Yeah.
play too much of it with Osiris. I just wanted to play your part. So yeah, so what is the feel of Black people in Chicago? Are they voting blue? Do you see a change? People switching parties, and how do people feel today about the Obamas?
Let me answer the question about the Obamas first. For the majority of people in the city, they're done with the Obamas. I can say that much. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I would say that the people are done with the Obamas. Um, as far as with the convention being here, nobody gives a damn in this city, man. I mean, we know what the Democrat Party look like. I mean, what city can be more Democrat than Chicago? And so the excitement is not there from the everyday people. Most of these people you see are from other cities across the country, but um, the fanfare around these parts, and I'm not that far away from the United Center. Man, the people are totally ignoring what's happening over there. They view the outsiders who are coming in are no different than they view the Obamas and the rest of the Democrat Party. They just don't give a damn. So, and I would say that when it comes to how people are going to vote, most people are going to stay home. Uh, you're going to have some they're going to continue to vote Democrat. But note this, that if voters would come out in support of Trump and his agenda by another 15-20%, then this state will flip red.
The state of Illinois? Oh, your audio went out again. The audio went out. You don't have earplugs? No, I can't because I can't hear you now. Um, God, I don't want to tell you to go back and come. Try it one more time. Go out and come back in just one more time. Cause I don't know why. Mark, are you on somebody's watch list? Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if he on somebody's watch list. Are we gonna try one more time? I'm not gonna keep him too long because I know he's out and about. And sometimes, it depends on where you at. It could mess up the audio. I do have some other stuff that I want to touch on, but I really want him to talk about, what is going on in Chicago for all people in Chicago, but specifically Black Chicago. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
All right.
So let me. I mean, what part did you hear that I was speaking of?
You said an extra 15% and it'll flip red, and
Yeah.
I said the state or the city?
The entire state, because for the most part, Illinois is red already. Even though we have a blue governor, um, you have a large portion of Illinois that's red. What makes Chicago and the state of Illinois blue is the fact that Chicago is so strong. Cook County is such a strong voting base. I mean, it's so strong that Pat Quinn was able to win his election for governor with only 3 counties of 102 out of 102 counties. That's how powerful the black vote is here in the state of Illinois. And under present leadership, we have been sold down the drain. And so for us, if we could pull off 30% of the voting base, either a combination of people voting Republican and some staying home, or a large portion of people just voting for Trump, it would flip the state red. And that's what we're looking to do. We are talking to some of Trump's people to get them to see the power that Black people possess in this city. And you know, sometimes when you look at a opposite group of people, a different ethnic group, and they view the people as brainwashed under this Democrat so-called magic, they're kind of skeptical, right? And so for us, not just here in Chicago, but across this country, you're going to have a lot of Black men stepping out this time, and their families are going to get on board with the moves that we're going to make. But that's predicated upon, you know, how Trump and those guys move, you know. So
do you see and outside of the Black South Side of Chicago, what about the other parts of Chicago, you know, where it's white, Hispanic, Asians, do you think they're going to vote red?
Quietly, yes, because of this immigration problem. You know, when you introduce something as large as what has happened with this illegal immigration that's happening in Chicago, it turns the people off. And anywhere else, I mean, anywhere else where they aren't used to seeing large groups of illegals being pumped into a city, and then the mayor turns around along with other elected officials and pour and shower these resources on these people. Oh, you're gonna piss the voting base off. And I'm telling you, the voting base is pissed. On top of the high grocery bills, gas, and things like that, the people are pissed. And I think that across this country, the Democrat Party is about to experience something that they've never experienced when it comes to Black voters and voters in general. The people
Right.
are fed up with this immigration mess.
Because Cook County, I do believe that if someone wants to be governor in the state of Illinois, you have to win Chicago. If you don't win Chicago, you don't win governor. So Chicago is the key. And so let's just say this. Let's just say Chicago doesn't flip red this election. However, what I do believe, which is a guarantee, is a city like Chicago, you're going to see a significant increase, and a lot of voters voting Republican, which is a strong indicator of what is to come in 2 years during the midterms, which is very important. And then when people see that, because they're going to try and suppress that in the media, but if people are aware of that, I believe when you go to other major cities that are heavily populated with a whole bunch of diversity, they're going to start switching to vote red, like New York City, the Bronx. They saw a significant increase in people switching parties. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Not just people, yeah, you kind of going in and out, but not just where people are going to be voting red. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I
Okay.
can hear you.
So you're not going to just see people voting red. You're going to see people running under the Republican Party. And so this is what we're about to do. We were about to do even in this cycle after the primary. We were getting ready to slate candidates against these congressmen, state reps, state senators, the commissioners, the committeemen. We did actually get a few spots as committeemen. And so the people are fed up with this Democrat Party. I'm telling you. And had the Democrats not used the General Assembly, the general election would have been totally different. Totally different. You know? And if Trump didn't really come to the table nationally, the way we've been having these conversations, then as a result of the interviews last night, and I'm telling you, the Democrat Party is going to be in trouble because black men are not going to vote in large numbers for the Democrat Party. That's not going to happen.
And I wanted to ask you, do you think it's
when you
oh,
get
okay, now the audio went out. Damn. Right when it was getting good. Can you hear me, Mark? Because I can't hear you. And you froze.
you can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
do you see a divide between black men and black women? Black women mainly staying on the Democrat plantation, whereas black men are switching red. Do you see that, or do you see black men and women as one accord with the same interest of voting red or staying blue?
Well, I wouldn't call it a divide. I would just say that black men, for the most part, haven't been involved, right? We kind of like just say, hey, man, the hell with those politics. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear you. I can't hear you speaking.
No, I'm not. Go ahead. Yeah, your audio just went out again. Oh my god. What neighborhood you in, honey? Hopefully he come back in, because I just want him to finish up that statement. Then I'll move on to the next segment, because I know he's out and about. Honey, what is going on? Chicago, honey, that Wi-Fi, y'all need that New York City Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi is strong as hell in the tri-state. It's strong. We got 5G on every corner. They're not playing. Chicago better get with it, honey. Hopefully he come back in. Give him about a minute. Guys, please hit the like button and please share. And yes, and hi to everybody on X. Appreciate you. Put your comments, comment on the DNC. What do you guys think? Listen, if you are a Democrat, if you're voting and supporting Kamala, share and tell us why. I may drop the StreamYard link to see if anybody want to come up and share their thoughts on the DNC convention and the and if you are voting blue or not. So I'm gonna let's give him a minute more to see if he's gonna come back up. But I want to go back. I want to share this. Mark, if you can hear me, just come back in. Yeah. So let's stay in Chicago because at the DNC, because last night, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama took the stage. And everybody in that convention lost their minds, hooping and hollering. For what? Barack Obama is a war criminal, just like every president. Michelle Obama, what has she done? But wear braids now. They are damn near almost billionaires. He was wealthy before he took office, even though he lied and put on the front like he came from middle America. Never was born or raised in Chicago. So he was wealthy when he came in, more wealthier when he left. They have these luxury estates in New England and everywhere else. But I want to go to Michelle. I want to go to Michelle first, and then I'll highlight Barack Obama. Because she's a liar. They kept saying Trump's name 1,000 times. And listen, if Mark can't come back in, I'll just make sure to have him back on when I know he's like stationary at home, like we did last time. So I do want to highlight a couple of Michelle Obama speeches because she's full of shit just like the rest of them. This says the Obamas, they have a net worth of $70 million. They own 4 luxury properties: DC, 8.1 million; Martha's Vineyard, 11.75 million; a beachfront in Hawaii, 8.7 million; their Chicago home, 1.6 million. But she had the audacity to try and make herself seem like she's one of us. She's not one of us.
You see, my mom, in her steady, quiet way, lived out that striving sense of hope every single day of her life. She believed that all children, all people have value, that anyone can succeed if given the opportunity. She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. They understood that it wasn't enough for their kids to thrive if everyone else around us was drowning. So my mother volunteered at the local school. She
said that her family looked at people sideways who took more than what they needed. But that's exactly what you and your lying-ass husband did. Taking more than what you need. That's what every politician does. That's what they did. That's what they continue to do. That's what they're doing now. And that's what they're going to continue to do. Like, you sound crazy, man. You have all these multi-million-dollar properties. They just had an article of Sasha Obama worth $10 million. She got $10 million in her trust fund. Never worked a day in her life. And she's still in college. Where do you get $10 million from? Your goddamn parents. Your damn parents. Now let's go to another lie.
I want to know who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs.
And it's always black people in the audience shucking and drumming and the Holy Ghost clapping, snapping the fingers, doing too much.
I want to know.
You want to know what? When you're talking about black jobs, well, I keep saying this. Some people don't even believe me, but it's the truth. I did a whole show. I added all of my sources, not articles, but all of my data sources. Me and Diamond Dave did a show. Hashtag Black Jobs. 70% of adult Black Americans, 70% of adult Black Americans, 70% of adult Black Americans in the United States make $37,000 a year or less. Those are the black jobs, the low-wage jobs. The president of the United States is not a black job. It never will be. You're just the leader of the free world. When Barack Obama sat in that seat, it wasn't a black job. He wasn't black. He was the president of the United States. Honestly, to a certain degree, it's not about color, even when Obama became president, because he was one of them. I think they got a nickname for Obama because he was the president who ordered the most drone strikes in history. That's crazy. So what are you talking about, a black job? No, ma'am. Where's the other one at? I mean, I gotta go back down. Because she made several lying statements. Oh, this is it. She mentioned, damn, that plane is loud as hell. She mentioned, of course,
taking away our freedom.
Of course, the whole DNC, the whole time that they've been there, they've been talking about women's reproductive rights. And that's the only policy that they actually talked about at the DNC this week. They're not going to talk about nothing else. They damn sure ain't going to touch that goddamn border. They ain't going to touch the economy because she's already getting ripped to shreds with her bullshit economic plan. They're talking about women's reproductive rights, i.e., they're only talking about abortion. Michelle Obama stood up there last night and she admitted, let us all know, she conceived via IVF. And it had always been these conspiracies. Is she a man? Or, did she give birth? Was she ever pregnant? It was a surrogate. Those are not their real kids. Could be true, could not. I don't know. But she admitted that she went through IVF. But she blamed Donald Trump from taking that right away from women to have a kid. More lies.
Taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did. Those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters. The freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her because she choked up a little bit saying it. And a lot of times when you lying, you're trying to remember your skit. So she's about to forget a little bit. I don't believe her. I believe these are her children's real parents. Was it Malia and Sasha's real parents? Look just like them. Loaned to the Obamas. Yeah. Yeah. I believe it.
Those things are not going to improve the health outcomes of our wives, mothers, and daughters.
So she's blaming Donald Trump. And of course, I love it when people show receipts. Because Donald Trump never championed to take women's rights to conceive and have a baby. He actually supported fertility treatments like IVF when he was president and even afterwards.
For mothers and families to have babies, not harder. That includes supporting the availability of fertility treatments like IVF in every state in America. Like the overwhelming majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, conservatives, Christians, and pro-life Americans, I strongly support the availability of IVF for couples who are trying to have a precious baby. What could be more beautiful or better than that? For mothers and...
So then, why are you lying on him? When and where and how did this man ever try to prevent women from getting fertility treatments, such as IVF, that you yourself, Michelle Obama, can't afford? You could afford that. Those things are very expensive. See, only women of high means can utilize fertility treatments such as IVF. Have you ever, when your husband was president, have you ever personally taken the time out to sponsor? Because first ladies, they could sponsor bills, they can create it. And they could go to Congress and ask different congressional people to sponsor it and to get it passed. They could advocate for policies. Have you ever advocated for women's health? No, you have not. I will give it to Kamala. That was the only thing she did as VP and the only thing she advocated for mainly as senator. was women's health. That was the only thing Kamala did. I have to give her credit for that. Michelle Obama never advocated for that. But you want to blame Trump for abortion ban? You want to blame Trump saying that he's trying to ban women for fertility treatments? And it's just not true. He made an announcement when he was president saying, I want to make sure women have access to fertility treatments. So where is the lie? Even this year, Trump says he supports IVF following Alabama embryo ruling. Donald Trump said that he will strongly support the availability of IVF and called on lawmakers in Alabama to preserve access. But you got up there in the DNC last night and said he did the opposite. Pandering, lying, distracting. These are all Democrat tactics. Now let's move to her husband. Oh, speaking of fertility, the city of Chicago allowed the DNC to dye the Chicago River red to celebrate abortion. Oh, yes. Are you serious? This is not just the only article clip. Several articles. The goddamn river was red. At first, when I seen it, I said, oh, is this for, did the Republicans do this? No. To celebrate abortion. You can't make this shit up. It's crazy. So Obama spoke, but I got to play Angela Rye because what came out of the Democrat Party, it took Obama a full week to endorse Kamala Harris. When Biden announced he was exiting the race for re-election on a Sunday, and that same exact day, he advocated and supported and pushed Kamala in his place. Everybody came out and supported Kamala Harris, except for Barack Obama. You need Barack Obama blessings. You need the Obama blessings if you are a Democrat. If you are a politician and a Democrat. It took him a whole week because behind closed doors, Obama did not want Kamala. We don't want Kamala. But they had to convince him and twist his arm. And Angela Rye, honey, she just spilled the tea to confirm that man ain't want her.
I think what's frustrating about this moment to me is Donald Trump almost feels like he has license to do this because she has been so not protected by the Democratic Party. This didn't start with Donald Trump's insults. This started within the party. There were folks ready to have a whole new primary to suppress a whole bunch of votes who voted in a primary for a Biden-Harris ticket.
Because you know what, stupid? That's how our democracy works. You got to start the process over from the beginning. When the main person on that ticket exit the race, you just can't say, I want to leave the race, but I'm going to hand over my money and my votes and my delegates to you. That's not how the process works, but they did it anyway because they're always cheating.
Who were ready to throw it all out, including y'all's favorite and first Black president.
But say more. What do you mean that he wanted to have a primary? Like what?
I'm saying that Kamala Harris was not Barack Obama's choice. Barack Obama was backed into a corner on that Sunday when the official announcement went out from Joe Biden saying that he was stepping down, and then a tweet went up saying that he was endorsing Kamala Harris.
But based on what? How do you know it wasn't his choice?
I got sources.
Okay. And she do have sources. She know all those people that's up in the White House and in Congress. Yeah. She's well connected. She don't do shit for Black people, but she's well connected. So he didn't want her. But he finally endorsed her after 5 or 6 days. And he got up there last night. You know, listen, he's a good speaker when it comes to a large crowd. Kamala Harris wasn't even in attendance. And I guess she didn't want to feel upstage when Barack Obama and even when Michelle Obama touched that stage. Honestly, they should have picked Michelle Obama. And I think Barack Obama did not want Kamala because I think he really wanted Michelle. I think Michelle have too many skeletons in her closet that was probably going to come out. So they had to put somebody else.
We can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents. We can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
Well, who said anything about tearing kids away from their parents? We know a lot of those kids that come across the border are coming across the border unaccompanied. They are being smuggled in by cartel human traffickers. They're not even with their parents. And if they are with their parents, they get to stay with their parents. So that's a lie. He did. So again, when they do touch on the border, he tries to change the narrative, and he's so charismatic about it. He's so charming about it.
We can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
So he's saying that he's not denying that the borders need to be secured. He's saying we could do it, but we could do it the right way with dignity and morals without separating parents, because Donald Trump and the Republicans, they want to separate parents. So we need to figure out a way to keep the kids and the parents together. And until we figure it out, let them all come in and give them all of these resources.
I am feeling hopeful because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. Because we have a chance to elect someone who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chance that she gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you. The next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
More lies. You don't want to see her president, Barack. You don't want to see that woman nowhere near that red button. Come on. Come on, dude. You know what you did, blowing up American citizens. And you feel as though, you know what? She's going to do worse because she's incompetent. She does not know what it takes. She doesn't. She doesn't know what she's doing. So he don't even believe that last line. No, Kamala Harris does not get up trying to figure out how to make people's lives better. She's trying to figure out who I need to sleep with, who I need to suck up to get ahead for me and myself and my family. How far can I go to the top? For me, myself, my family, on a divine nine. That's all that woman is worried about. That's all she wants.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up.
He always had that preacher, that preacher's touch. He knows how to make a crowd feel so good inside, like preachers do. Get the hooping and hollering and clapping. But when he's doing one-on-one interviews, he's not that sharp.
I am feeling ready to go. Even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama.
And that's another thing. You always sit up here praising your wife. Like, dude, We know it's arranged. You probably don't even still sleep with her. Y'all probably not even have separate bedrooms, but you probably live in separate homes. So stop. I don't understand how and particularly Black Americans, why are you so enamored and in love? Why are you still so in love with Barack Obama? I actually voted for this man twice. And that is something that I don't like to say out loud, but I will take accountability and say I voted for him twice. And I would never do that again. I would never vote on who I like. I would never vote that way again for anyone on any type of official level. I'm going to vote based on policies, your record, and your agenda. And then I want to ask the hard questions. Well, what do you want to do for my community? But I would no longer vote on who I like and popularity. And when talking about a wall, I do want to highlight the Democrats built a wall around a convention center requiring ID to enter because it's top security. But you trying to say that people don't need IDs to vote in order to vote? I want to sum up this Democrat convention to being a party full of hypocrites, pandering, symbolism, distraction. That's all it is. It's no real substance. It's not. Let me pause this here. Thank you, Deandra. Obama used his presidential library in Chicago to take public parklands and gentrify the South Side against the wishes of Black residents. Yeah. Does he do any type of, do they do any type of outreach in the community at that library? Do they hold book clubs for children? What is the literacy rate in Chicago for all kids, particularly the Black kids on the South Side? Because that's where the library is at, right? What is the literacy rate? You have a goddamn library. What are the outreach programs, the reading programs? Thank you, ballet dancer and Jay. So as I wind down, and guys, please share this video, hit the like button, and shout out to everybody on X. Please repost. I want to play Dr. Claude Anderson, and I need to find someone that know him because I would love to interview him. I do want to say thank you to Mark Carter for coming on, honey. I sent him a text. We're going to have to reschedule. I'm going to do a one-on-one interview with Mark Carter. Because it's like that could be pre-recorded, and I know you're going to be stationary somewhere. But thank you, nevertheless, for taking time out to come on. Definitely going to have you back. But I want to end with two people, Dr. Claude Anderson and Malcolm X, because, you know, it is very embarrassing that this man here, for so many decades, warned Black Americans, laid out multiple plans, not just write books, but laid out data, statistics, an actual plan to get ahead, and he was completely ignored. Yes, the politicians are going to ignore him, but we, the people, ignored this man. And now look, the year that he predicted that Black Americans would be far worse than any other time since slavery in this country, he predicted it would be happening right about now, and it is.
Democratic Party has never explained to Black people in this country that they're going to practice politics based on the simple premise of what politics is in place for. Politics is a process that decides who will get what benefits out of life, and who's going to get it and how they're going to get it. And yet the Democratic Party has never told Black folk that. And so what you should be voting for out there is not for a political candidate based on his personality. Well, I like this candidate for this reason. I like that for that reason. You should be saying, I want to pick the person who's going to provide the most benefits to Black people. They're not going to provide any benefits to black folk. Why are you voting? You go to the supermarket and you go in there and you starve to death. You need some groceries. You go to the supermarket, walk up to the cashier and give him $50. Say, I'm buying $50 worth of food. And you don't have to give me anything for it. Just take the $50 and I'm going back by my business. See, that's what the Democrats are doing. And black people don't understand that the Democratic Party has never, ever done anything in the history of this nation to be effectively do something for black folk. Democratic Party is negligent. They're using black folk to pimp and hustle black folk. Why am I saying that? Because the Democratic Party right now is made up, their voting strength comes from black people. Black people make up about 38 to 40% of the Democratic Party. And yet they never get anything out of it. Not one penny is sent to black folk to repay them for putting a candidate in office. Now, black folk want to play and win. As I said, they should get out of both parties and go start their own party. Quit running around voting for people based on personalities. And because he's associated with this, he's associated with that. If they haven't done anything for black folk in approvable, measurable terms to elevate the quality of life and the wealth holding for black folk, don't vote for them. Don't vote for anybody who won't support you. And so right now, don't listen to the ministers or civil rights leaders or any water-leg politicians that won't stand up for you. For a political.
He's 1000% correct. Thank you, Roger Meadows. The way to Dr. Claw is through Dr. Boyce. Okay. Because yes, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he had him a whole lot of times on his platform. So I'll reach out to him. Thank you for that. Excuse me. So again, guys, listen, Dr. Claude Anderson is correct. And because without the black vote, the Democrat Party is weak. And you know what? If Kamala Harris, and I think it's a long shot, but if she does become president of the United States of America, I always go back to this: focus on Congress. Because let's just say she is president. If Republicans control Congress, it ain't much shit she could do anyway. So we're still safe. If she becomes president, make sure that Congress is Republican controlled. Because if it's not, this is the downfall, a complete destruction of America, and there's no turning back. We will never be able to regain being the most powerful country in the world. So it's two things. Don't elect her president, or make sure that Congress stays make sure Congress becomes red, Republican controlled. This is a little sidebar. Somebody on, and I think I do have this clip, somebody on that was on CNN being interviewed did say that the Democrats have controlled Congress out of all the presidencies since in the last 16 years, 16 out of the 18 years. Oh, I meant to play this clip about Tim Walz. I'll do that tomorrow. I thought I had that clip, but I don't. So again, we're not focused on Congress. We're focused on the presidency. And technically, Congress is way more important. So if this woman is elected, if she has a Republican Congress in the Senate and the House, they're going to prevent her from doing damage. She's going to do a little bit of damage, but they're going to prevent her from destroying this country. So that's very important. But I do want to end the show with 12 of the 16. Okay. Thank you so much, Simon. Yeah, 12 of the last 16 years, Democrats have had the upper hand in Congress. So with that, so the point with that, and we elaborate that tomorrow because we are going to do the Man Up Show tomorrow. With that said, all of the money being funded to Ukraine, Israel, when we talk about bailouts or whatever the case may be, blame it on the Democrats because they have controlled Congress 12 out of this last 16 years. That would be under Trump, Biden, and 2 terms of Obama and Bush. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, Trump and 2 terms under Obama. Yeah. So either they dominated the House or the Senate, or they dominated both, the Democrats. So how can you sit up here and always say the Republicans are the enemy, the Republicans are a problem, when you are the ones in control? Either one of the houses or both. Because they're liars. Mel Jackson reaction. You going in, Dana. You going in, Dana. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. Ron Herbio has also interviewed Dr. Claude. Yes. And I have Ron's number. I said to myself, just today, I got to reach out to Ron. He knows a lot about history. I love Ron. Because I got hooked on Judge Joe Brown when Judge retired from Hollywood with watching We All Be TV. Ron Herbert, he interviewed Dick Gregory, Judge Joe Brown, Dr. Claude Anderson, and he is very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent. So thank you for mentioning him, because I'm going to send him a text tonight, because I want to personally interview Ron, and I want to invite him on the show too. So with that said, guys, listen, we are doing a Man Up show tomorrow, Judge Joe Brown, and I will be playing Kamala Harris' speech at the DNC. I will be playing it live during the show, but we will be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to end with Malcolm X, of course. Got to. Because everything this man said, and this was over 50 years ago, everything this man said then is true today, and it hasn't changed. It's actually gotten worse.
You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump.
Reverend Al Sharpton could never. Ben Crump, none of them could never. So it's very disheartening. I'm going to say this one last thing. It's very disheartening when you look around today, my generation, even the people who are older, right? We don't have people like Malcolm X, MLK, Adam Clayton Powell. We don't have none of those type of people, whether you're an activist or a politician, because everybody is looking out for self. Everybody just want a camera in their face. Everybody's trying to just get the bag, and they don't give a shit about the people. They don't. And that's fine. But I would say this to the people, and I don't care what gender, what color, what nationality, I don't care. I'm going to say this to the people. They don't care about us. We need to start caring about us. We need to start changing and creating our narrative. We need to learn how to become the forecasters. Dr. Amos Wilson, famous line. We, the people, are the forecasters. The politicians are just simply the presenters. And that is a whole fact. So thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on X. everybody here, to all my mods, love you guys to pieces. Everybody commenting, everybody listening, please share this video. Everybody watching on the website, go to the website, therealdananetwork.com. Go to the highest paid. Oh my God, I didn't pull up I got to get the commercial. I got to have the commercial already loaded. highestpaid.online. The link is in the description. You get 30% off. Go check it out. Improve your financial status. So no matter who's in office, you still will make money. Because the president does not regulate Wall Street or the Federal Reserve. So go learn a skill and learn a skill of how to make money in the stock market, selling stock index, all that good stuff. highestpaid.online. Link is in the description. You get 30% off when you type in Dana 30. It's a great deal. And they have clearing or afterpay. So, honey, you could sign up. You don't got to pay the whole fee at once. You could put that damn course on layaway, pay in installments. Yes, honey, I love me some Affirm and clearing and afterpay. Love it. You get 30% off and you could pay in installments. So go click the link in the description, highestpaid.online. I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.